All right, guys, so we're going to start with ratios today. And ratios you'll see are very similar to fractions. Fractions, you say it's part of a whole, and same with ratios. Ratios can be part of part of a whole, or comparing two things together. So the first vocabulary you need to know is ratio. All right, so Um, rather than give you the definition of a ratio, I'm going to show you what it is. So ratio is actually a part over a whole. Okay, part out of a whole. It can also be a comparing two quantities. All right, so the way to identify that is like, let's say there's 2 apples out of 5 fruits. So out of 5 fruits that I have on the table, 2 of them are apples. And this fraction sign right here, instead of, I don't want to say instead of dividing, because eventually sometimes you might need to divide, but this is actually saying out of. So 2 apples out of 5 fruits. Okay, makes sense? All right, it can be shown in 3 ways. First way is 1 to 7. So it would be one quantity to another quantity. So if I wanted to do 1 to 7, sorry, that shouldn't be there. If I wanted to do 1 to 7, it would look like this. So my first way would be 1 out of 7, right? My second way would be 1, and you'll have this colon here, 7. You'll see it written that way. And the third way is 1 to 7. So those are the 3 ways you'll see ratios written most of the time. All right, how do you find the ratios? So let's say I have cats and dogs. Or let's say I have cats, dogs, and birds. So here I have birds, 10 of them. I have dogs, 14 of them. And I have cats, 8. All right, and I want to find the ratio of cats to the total pets. All right, so in this problem, step 1 would be the number of cats, that would be my part, right, in this case, is the numerator. All right, so I have 8 cats, so that's going to go on top. All right, step 2, I'm going to count up the total number of pets. So this would be my whole, and that would be my denominator. All right, so in this case, I have 10 plus 14 plus 8. So that's 24 plus 8 is 34. Nope, that's a lie, 32. So I have 8 over 32, which of course I will simplify, right? Because I never leave it by itself. So I can divide both of these by 8 actually. So 8 divided by 8 is 1, 32 divided by 8 is 4. All right, so that's how you would find the ratios of one number versus a whole number. Now let's say I wanted to compare two numbers. So cats versus dogs. So I want to know the ratio of cats and dogs. So my cats is 8, my dogs are 14. Okay, so I have 8 over 14, so comparing the two, I can divide by 2 to each of these. So I have 4/7, okay? So basically for every 4 cats, there will be 7 dogs. And I can do that to any of those numbers. Let's try another problem. All right, what if I have 30 flowers and I want to divide those into 2 groups with a ratio of 2 to 3. All right, so my first step is, I'm going to remind you how to draw bar diagrams. All right, so I want a ratio of 2 to 3. So let's say I have one group of flowers here, one group of flowers here, one group here, one group here, one group here, okay? And all of these equal 30. Okay, when you see this bracket here, that means total. All right, so I want to divide all of those into 30. So I'm going to count the boxes. And divide the total. All right, so in this case, I have 5 boxes. So I'm going to do 30 divided by 5, which is 6. So in each of those, I have 6. All right, so in group 1, so step 3, I'm going to put these numbers with the quotient and then add together. All right, so let's say I have roses here and tulips here. All right, so I would need my group 1, which is my roses. I would need a total of 12. 6 plus 6 equals 12, so I need 12 roses. And then my second group, which is tulips, I would 6 plus 6 plus 6, which is 18. So in my second group, I would have 18. Okay, so if I took my 30 flowers into 2 groups, I would have 12 roses in one group, 18 tulips in the other. And that's how I would make those together, or divide that total into that. All right, let's do a couple of practice problems. All right, let's say I have this information. I want to find a few things, so let's make a couple of problems with this. I want the ratio of Snickers to Reese's. All right, so how many Snickers do I have? I have 10. Okay, so that's going to be my numerator. My Reese's will be my denominator. So I have 10 Reese's to every 10 Snickers to every 15 Reese's, which I'm going to simplify by 5, which gives me 2/3. Okay, so for every 2 Snickers, I will have 3 Reese's. How about Twix to Reese's? Okay, so my Twix is going to go on top. Reese's will go on the bottom. Simplify. Okay, so for every 1 Twix, I will have 3 Reese's. And finally, let's find the total. I want to have the total Reese's. Oops, not the total Reese's. I want to know how much the Reese's are to all the candy put together. Okay, so my Reese's are 15. My total is 10 plus 5 plus 15. So that gives me 15 over 25, 30. Okay, so I'm going to divide by 5, simplify that. So I have 3, 6, which I can multiply or divide again. Sorry, I'm tired today. So if I divide both of those by 3, I get 1/2. Okay, so Reese's are 1/2 of total candy. All right, let's do one more of the having a total and putting it into groups. Okay, let's say I have 63 students and I want 2 groups with a ratio of 7 to 9. All right, so in order to do that, best way to do it would be to draw a diagram. So I have my girl group and my boy group, and we can separate them into girls and boys. So let's say I had four groups of girls Actually, we need it 7 to 9. So let's do 7 girls. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6. 7, and then 9 here. Okay, and each of these equals 63. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 into 63. So I have 16 or 63 divided by 16. Can I do that evenly? 16 times 2 is 12, 2, it's 32. I double that, it's 4, 64. Okay, so I'm going to switch this around a little bit just for the sake of not having to do the whole problem again. Let's make this 64. All right, so I want to take 64 and make them into groups that have a ratio of 7 to 9. So I have 64 here, and that can go in 2 4 times. So each one of these is 4. All right, 7. So girls, I would have 7 times 4, which is 28. And the boy group, I would have 4, 1, 3, 4. I already know I have 9 boxes, right? So 4 times 9 is 36. And if you were to add those together, you would have 64. All right, so we'll play around with this tomorrow in class, but go ahead and try to do the knowledge check. Have a good night.